What up? What up? It's your boy, Shawty Parker, back in the building with another episode of Just My Damn Opinion. Hey, man, you know opinions are like assholes, and everybody got one. And your boy got one too. First off, I want to say, man, happy holidays to everybody, man. I hope everybody enjoying their family, friends, time off, and all that good stuff. I've been going on a lot of these shows, man, and it's just very hard when you go on a lot of these shows well, not going on them, but I've been in the chat on a lot of these shows about college football and the playoffs and things like that. It's just hard sometimes because you can only say so much. So I my own show. Granted, it's late, but I want to do my own show so I can give my damn opinion. I might have a guest, or I might have a guest or two pop up. Who knows? We'll see. Like I say, it's Christmas. It's that time of the year. Everybody got family and friends. So with that said, man, I just wanted to come on tonight, just chop it up a little bit, man. Give my damn opinion about some of these playoff games and things that's been going on. So probably I'll talk about maybe the first round of the playoffs, and I'll give it maybe a quick, brief preview of the second round. I'm gonna try to buy a little time to let my homie get in. He said he just texted me, said he about 5 minutes away. Uh, One of my good podcast buddies from Hall of Fame football, Jason, he probably be hopping on with me. So the first thing I want to just kind of get into, man, is like, did the college playoff committee get it right? 1 through 12, did they get it right? I think for the most part, a lot of people would say, 1 through 10, move a few spots around was pretty good. But that 11th and 12th spot, I don't know, man. In my opinion, I would have rather have seen Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, or Texas or somebody like that in the playoffs. And to give my honest opinion, I just think the G5 need to have their own playoffs. Everybody can't get in the club, man. Who wants to see Ole Miss play Tulane? We saw it in the regular season, and Ole Miss beat them by 5 touchdowns. You put them in the playoffs, and guess what happened? With all this time to prepare, you got film on them, and the same shit happened again. And I'm gonna tell you what got me is this right here. The first play of the game. Shout out to the young man, no disrespect to him or the family, anything like that. But the first play of the Ole Miss and Tulane game, Ole Miss hand the ball off to the left side. Did y'all see number 33 trying to D-line, trying to chase the ball down? Granted, he a D-lineman. I get it. But the unathleticism, I just knew right then and there that it was just two different speeds. You could just see it. And the turf doesn't help. I try to tell people a lot of time, when you play on certain surfaces, the differences, the minute differences can really show in the speed of the team, whether it be on offense or defense. And I saw that and I just knew it was going to be, the same thing we saw in the regular season. And it was. I think the regular season, they beat them 45-10, and in the playoffs, in the first round, they beat them 41-10. So the committee, man, I get the rules. I understand. I think the rules kind of put y'all in a bind this year, and you kind of had to do some things. But I don't know, man. For the good of college football, like anything else, man, y'all do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Do what you're supposed to do. Because if it come down to money, I'm gonna probably be well, I can't say 100%, but I'm pretty sure that y'all lost some viewership on the Ole Miss Tulane in the Oregon James Madison game. As a matter of fact, I had to take that back. That's the game I was talking about on the first play. It was actually the James Madison Oregon game. Number 33, the D lineman tried to get out and chase the tackle, and it was just again, I saw it was a D lineman, but it just looked bad. He looked very unathletic, and that's how I just do again. The speed of the game was just totally different between the two teams, especially James Madison defense and Oregon's offense. Because actually, if you looked at the game, I mean, James Madison did some nice things on offense. I mean, they were more competitive on the offensive side of the ball than they were the defensive side of the ball. So, I mean, they did some things that were somewhat competitive, so I'm not mad at that. But the committee, man, hopefully we got to make some changes to this. Everybody just can't get in the club. I think the G5 needs to have their own playoffs. And I think the 11, 12, 13, and 14th seed, just my damn opinion, I think they need to have a play-in for the 11th and 12th seed. 11 play 14, 12 play 13 for the 11-12 spot. And all you have to do is play those games on Friday, right before you play the Saturday games. Easy. No extra games, no nothing, just a quick buy-in. And whoever win those two games between 11, 12, 13, and 14, they get the 11 and 12 spot. And then they play so on and so on. So other than that, I really think the playoff, the way it's set up, is fine. You just got to fix the 11 and 12 seed. No need to go to 14, 15, and 16 and all that. Because again, even if you do that, and you're still going to guarantee, these G5 playoff spot, it's going to be the same thing in my opinion. You're going to have one to possibly two teams that just definitely don't deserve to be in there. And to be honest with you, other than their respective fan base, don't nobody want to see them. Not playing against, these top tier teams. We just don't want to see it. And what everybody thought, that's the way that it played out. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just my opinion in that particular matter. I mean, it was two blowouts. Sucks, man. I'm trying to buy some time for my partner to get in before I move too far down the docket, so to speak, and have to kind of have to backtrack. And with some other things I will say, man, with these playoffs going on, a lot of these teams have a lot of time to prepare. And with this time to prepare, the product that's being put out makes me wonder about the preparation for some of these teams. Like, what is really going on? Like, I think it kind of helps me, in my opinion, separate coaching staff, top tier coaching staffs, from average and bottom tier coaching staff. I really do. Because, a guy like Saban and Kirby and a lot of these big names, when you give these kind of teams, time to prepare like that, they generally come in ready to play, and you can see the product on the field, in my opinion. But in a case like Tulane, James Madison, good coaches, but it has nothing to do with the time that they had to prepare. They just don't have the talent. The skill level is not there for them to be successful against the team that they're going to play in these playoffs. It's just not there. It's not any shout out. I mean, it's no disrespect to any of those teams, because look at it like this right here. Generally, it's a privilege to play at a Power 4 school, to get scholarships to Oklahoma, Georgia, Alabama. That's a privilege. It's a reason why those guys get recruited and sign scholarships at these lower tier schools, because generally they don't make the cut for the bigger schools. So why in the hell do they have the same opportunity to play for a national championship when they couldn't get recruited by these schools? I just don't understand it. So if they're not good enough to, get scholarship to these schools, what make you think if you put a bunch of them together, same type of caliber athletes together to play these higher rated schools, that they have well, I guess anybody got a chance, but just on average and in general, that they gonna beat them? That's the issue that I had. It just doesn't add up, man, and it just it's bad for the college fan. It really is. Like the college fan don't want to see it, and I just think it's, it tends to leave a bad taste in the mouths of a lot of hardcore college fans. And maybe I think we got maybe one more year. I don't know if this was the last year, but I think we have more. I think we have one more year of this particular playoff style before we go to 16. I really don't want to go to 16, but hey, I get it, money involved and things like that. Because it's just like, geez, if you're not in the top 10 or 12 again, your regular season hasn't proved or shown that you should have a shot at a national championship. It just doesn't. And I hate to be the old man sitting on my porch. I'm not trying to be that. I get the evolution of the game and how things change. But just look how far we have come. It used to only be 2 slots. And generally, those teams were undefeated based off of whatever poll or computer system that we had in place, years ago. It was only 2 teams. Then we went to 4. That wasn't enough. Now we had 12. And it seemed like 12 is not enough because we're going to go to 16, man. I just don't get it. I'm going to get off my soapbox about that. Again, I'm trying to buy a little bit of time to see if my partner going to come in. He said he was about 5 minutes away. So I'm trying to give him a little time to get into his studio and get set up before I try to go through all these playoffs teams and things like that. But I'm going to talk about the Miami and Texas A&M game. Very competitive game. Miami was on the, playoff fringes. They took Miami over Notre Dame. I didn't have a problem with that because, again, you can say what you want to say and feel how you want to feel. But if Miami beat Notre Dame head to head, everything else is pretty comparable. You have to give Notre Dame the slot. So I wasn't, not Notre Dame, but Miami the slot. So I wasn't mad at that. They played Texas A&M in the first round. It's a very, very competitive game. I wasn't big on Texas A&M. I've said it on other shows. Texas A&M had at the end of the day, it's an SEC schedule, but they had a great year. But when you peel the layer of the onion back, every team that Texas A&M played in their SEC schedule was in the bottom 8 half, meaning they were average to below team. They didn't play anybody in the top. And when they did, they lost, which was their one team. So I was never truly sold on Texas A&M and from the get-go. I really wasn't. And when they finally played a good team, it showed. And my partner Jason just tried to pop in. He was there, then I lost him. So hopefully he'll come back. And I could say the same about Miami. ACC schedule. They did great in their conference, had a pretty good conference schedule. But the strength of it, in my opinion, wasn't that great. So I wasn't really sold on Miami. Then they got Carson Beck, which is a former quarterback from UGA. I think he's a great quarterback, good quarterback. He has a tendency to, when things are hell, he just don't know. Get out the hole. Oh, we got my boy. Hold on one sec. I hear an echo. You hear echo on these? No, it's on my end.
Okay, I'm not hearing it.
Okay. I he's doing something. But with that being said, man, welcome my part in Hall of Fame college football, Jason Watkins. I always say the hardest working man in podcast that I know.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Those are kind words, sir. Appreciate you. How you been?
Good, man. Happy holidays to you.
Back at you, my brother. Back at you, man. Merry Christmas is coming up, man. I'm excited. It's been Well, it's been a tough weekend though for your boy, man. It's been a tough weekend. It's kind of feel like you got kicked in the balls a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I get it and I
I
understand, but
understand, but
I'm gonna say
I'm
I'm gonna save a little bit of that later. You know, so I get it. But one thing I will say, to have that feeling, you had to get invited to the party, and a lot of folks didn't get invited to the party.
Fair enough. And I guess I'm just not at that point where I've been ready to like, you know, get to that point where you feel good about the season and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff up in the air and everything, and it's just it's still fresh. You know, I mean, you get a 17-point lead, you're supposed to move on. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, man. I
I
totally get it.
get it.
And what I would say, Jason, is as a social worker, the best way to get people is to talk about
about.
yeah, fair enough.
it. You know what I'm saying? Best way to
As a
get people
social
to
worker,
talk
you
about it,
gotta
man. Don't keep it all wrapped up.
There you go. There you go. Hey, listen, I'm with you on that, and I think it. Truth be told, there's things that there weren't a lot of people that expected Oklahoma to get where they got, to get into that dance. I think, and I know that you felt like they were pretty good, but I think you probably felt like they were a year away or something, maybe, if that. And I think that a lot of people did. I mean, Vegas had them at 6.5 wins was their over under. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, that was the expectation. Obviously, that wasn't the expectation around Norman, around the program, and what we'd seen with the defense. Truth be told, I would tell you that we expected the defense to be here, right, and it was here. We expected the offense to be here, and it was down here, and so they got there a different way than I think anybody expected them to get there, but it's not really sustainable if you're turning the football over and not making the right decisions and things like that. And I've been saying that for weeks, and they've been on a heater. You know what I mean? They were on a heater, winning big road games. At Tuscaloosa, big road game in Knoxville. Nobody beat. Joe Klatt was saying nobody beats Tennessee and Knoxville except for Georgia, and Oklahoma ain't Georgia. Well, Oklahoma went in there and whooped their ass, but that being said, you could see the things that, the LSU game, you throw 3 interceptions and you get away with it because their offense is trash. And you got the defense that stepped up there and held them to, 14 points. It's one of them things. So it was felt pretty good about it, especially after that first quarter. I was feeling really good about it. And then it just kind of went away quickly. It was fleeting after that.
Well, I mean, like I say, man, at the end of the day, I don't know why I'm getting skinny. It's on my end. Something with my audio. No, it's on me. It's my headset. Something going on with my audio.
Okay.
But you don't hear it?
I can hear a little feedback. Like it's not like echoing to me, but you can hear like buzz, like a buzz in it.
Give me a sec. I'm gonna remove myself.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he should not have left me alone on his channel. He should not have let me alone on his channel. And nobody's in here. Nobody's in here to talk it up. And he should have let me share this in fact, I will share. Let's do that. Oh man, let's go to over here. But shout out to the dogs. Shout out to UGA, and I think that I do feel like that, and I guess we'll get into talking about this a little bit, coming up. But I feel like you've got a chance. Alabama should beat Indiana. I believe that. I think you're going to have to get it done, but I do think you will. And then I think Georgia is going to run through this tournament. I really do. I think that Ole Miss presents some problems offensively. But I do think that overall,
Jess, I have. Can you hear me?
Let's see. I think that Ole Miss does present some problems, obviously, for UGA offensively. Defensively, I think that they've been decent. They've been better, the longer it goes. But I would say that in the end, I really feel like this is a team that can kind of get it done. I think Georgia's going to run through that side. Shawty, I don't know. I don't. Is your audio better?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Wow.
Yeah. No sound now. That's all right. I'm sharing it to Twitter and everything real quick so we can get some peeps in here talking about it too. Yeah, so again, like I said, I feel like on that side of the bracket, with the side that Georgia's on, I think that obviously there's a lot of people that they still have Ohio State as the favorite to win it all. I think that you saw that Ohio State is not as good as everybody thinks. I believe in what they have offensively. Obviously, Jeremiah Smith being just heads above everybody else. I like their defense as well, but I think that they have not really been tested. And I think you saw that from Ryan Day, talked about it kind of right after that game. And if you think about it, he could tell that, that was a test for them, and maybe that helps them. And maybe it helps them against, the rest of who they got to play before they get there, because they're going to end up, who they got, they've got Miami. See, and I think Miami is a tough out there as well. That'll be a test. If they can get through that, then this should be a hell of a game. But I don't think that anybody's playing as well as Georgia is right now on both sides of the football. Their running game is really killing it. They just, man, the job that Mike Bobo and them have done with this offense, I think, and I know people get on Bobo a lot, but the dude, I mean, they've had injuries to key
Jason?
linemen. Losing Drew Bobo, I know for the rest of it seems like he's out for the rest of the year. I don't know if that's for sure correct. I'll ask Shawty here in a second. But to me, being able to run the football the way they are, and they're making the game easy for Gunnar Stockton. And Gunnar Stockton is playing really, really well. Really well. I mean, you look at his performance in that SEC championship game, and I look at it and I'm going, damn. Efficient, 20 of 26, 3 touchdowns. It was
Jason, can you hear me?
Just another day at practice, it felt like, probably for him. And shout out to him, and to do that against Alabama, who's been your nemesis, is pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild. I'm more impressed with him all the time, and I got impressed with him really. I was impressed by the way he started off the year. With Tennessee. Not as good against Alabama the first time around, but I think they've changed a lot, man, over the course of the season. They've changed a lot.
Can you hear me at all? You can't hear me?
I can't hear you still. You got to go into your sound settings, brother. On your computer, probably. Let's get in and look at the bracket real quick here. I'll kind of carry it for you there for a minute, big dog.
Can you hear me at all?
No worries. So maybe we'll get some people in here checking us out. And I want to get into talking about some of this stuff where you got Oregon. Obviously, they blew out James Madison. I know James Madison it looks like they turned it into a game. They didn't. It was a blowout, and it makes you wonder like what's going on with. It sucks for teams like BYU and Notre Dame, really, for that matter. That they don't have to go through the same type of gauntlet that you have to go through if you're in a power conference. And so I think that you're playing on different levels. To me, and somebody said this the other day, but I think it's like expecting a 2A team to go beat a 6A team. And it just doesn't. They're playing a 2A schedule all year, and then they're going to make it into the 6A playoffs. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So, they need to start getting this thing right. I don't think that the immediate answer is to expand the playoffs to 16 teams. I kind of think that's not the way to go. But that being said, they're going to do it. It's going to get probably at least go to 16. I don't want it to go any further than that. I think that 16 is fine because that's kind of that magic number on, brackets. You start looking at brackets and, Big Mike was talking about this. I guess it was 2 weeks ago on Big Monday. And it was, he was like, hey man, it's 16. That's the bracket. Right. Yeah, again, he should not be leaving me alone here. Oh man. Let's see. I'm gonna do a little post here as well. Get some people in here talking with us.
Can you hear me? Man, I don't know what's going on with my setup. Jason, can you hear me at all? Can you hear me, Jason?
You back, Thad?
Man, I don't know what's going on with my
Oh
audio.
no. What did you do? I wonder if we can't tell if it's just that I can't hear. Well, there he goes. No. Let's see. Got it. Let's see. Taking a look at this. Let's take a look at this real quick.
Can you hear me?
It's not.
Can you hear me, Jason? Bro, I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me? No.
So go to your settings, Will, bro. Go to your settings, Will.
I have.
And did you do it? Did you do it on your computer?
Mm-hmm.
Did you shut down and restart? At Susie, you can hear Shawty? Okay, maybe it's just me that's not hearing him. But I was hearing him a minute ago.
But I can hear you. Susie, can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Yeah, she said she can hear me.
Okay.
Susan, do
All
you
right,
hear
Shawty, let
Jason
me
as
go
well?
out and come back in.
Okay.
Let me go out and come back in.
She said she hear both of us. Okay. Well, we're trying to get these technical difficulties set up because I have the same setup. I never changed anything. I don't know why anything would happen, but shout out to you, Susie. Happy holidays and all that good shit, man. I hope everything going well with you and the family. Yeah, it must be on our end. So hopefully when he come back in, we'll be good. We'll see what's going on. How your holidays coming so far, Susie? As a matter of fact, since I got you on the line right now, other than your holidays, do you think the playoff committee got the top 12 right, Susie? Let me know in the comments if you think the playoff committee got the top 12 right. Because as I was saying earlier, I mean, I think 1 through 10 was, you can move a few pieces around, but not a big deal. But the last 2 spots, yeah, I'm ready for everyone to get hit by the UGA train. I feel you on that.
I got you now. I heard you. I could hear you.
Okay.
Well, it's low though. You're really low. I don't know if it's coming off of your right microphone or not.
I'm so scared. Yeah, it's coming off my camera mic right now. I'm scared to change mics again. Let me go back to my standard mic. But she said she can hear both of us.
Okay. Yeah, I just couldn't hear you.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, that's better. There
All
you go.
So I don't know what was going on.
And it's always something with these damn streaming things.
Yeah, I appreciate you streaming, man, because, I got a small platform, man. So, I don't be really worried about nobody's show. I was just ready to talk some football. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I threw out a couple of little things to talk about, but I know you want to talk about the rest of the week. What's the first thing you want to talk about?
So, my first thing I want to say is, we're in the college football playoffs, obviously, and we saw the first round that just go by. So we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit. But the first question to you I want to ask is, do you think the playoff committee got it right?
No, I think that their way of going about it is trash. Number one, I don't even really care about the arguments. I think everybody can make an argument for their team or whatever. But what I don't like is the way they go about selecting. You know what I mean? And Susie's saying no, Notre Dame and BYU should have made the tournament. I agree. I think that what I was just saying whenever you were trying to get going with that was that, to me, this is like having a 2A football team playing a 2A schedule to play in the 6A playoffs. In high school. And people don't, it's as simple as that. It really is. And somebody said that, and I heard that the other day, and I was like, shit, it really is. It's as simple as that. Only in college football can they screw that up.
And I'm in agreement with you. And before I give my gripes on it, I'm just going to say this right here, and I know I don't want to be the old man I'm sitting on the porch.
Yeah.
But to go to schools like Georgia, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Texas, it's a privilege to go to those schools, right? It's a reason why we're able to get certain athletes and why the G5 school gets certain athletes. So why in the hell, if you can't get a scholarship, no disrespect to nobody kids based off their athleticism, nothing like that, everybody should know where I'm coming from. But if you don't get a scholarship to these schools, it's a reason why. So why in the hell should you have a chance to play for the same national championship to places you couldn't go?
That's the whole point. And it's like, to me, it's about, you don't have to go through the same gauntlet. We know that the Big 12 and the Big 10 especially, and the ACC, they don't play the same kind of schedule as the SEC school, but they play a real schedule. The only Power 4 team that James Madison played all year was Louisville, who was 8-4. They were decent, but they weren't great. They lost to them by multiple scores. I mean, that's the only Power 4 team they play. You go through the Sun Belt Conference and we're supposed to give a shit? I mean, come on, bro. And that's what I'm saying. You got an 11-1 BYU team that only loses to Texas Tech, who bought what they think is a championship defense or whatever. Their only loss is 2 of them to the same team that was going to make it in. Now Texas Tech would have made it in had they have lost that game in the championship, but BYU doesn't. To me, I was saying this too. The ACC and Big 12 not accepting that 4-4-2-2 model is a big, big mistake, because if you ain't gonna get an 11-1 runner-up into the damn dance, how you ever gonna get 2?
Right.
You're never going to.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, Jason. You know, just based off of what we have, I'm not really mad at the way the system is set up, especially 1 through 10 is those with that 12 spot, which could be an 11 spot. And I think I've said it on some of your shows. I would keep it the way it is, but just don't allow G5 in, and then you let 11 play 14, 12 play 13 for a buy-in for the 11 and 12 spot. And they can play
You've
Friday.
got weeks in between it. We had damn 2 and 3 weeks.
But they can play the Friday before the Saturday games. No difference. They can play the same week, and you get more viewership. It's not like
play 2 games in a week.
No. What I'm saying is the Friday before the championship games, because there ain't nobody else playing, right?
Right.
Those teams are not going to be in the championship. So what I'm saying,
I'm with you all the way on that, and I think that you could change the way that they select like that. If you do that, you have play-in games. When you start looking at like let's talk about. Think about this for a second. If they did the 4-4-2-2 or whatever model, right? Or even if you go to 16 and do 4-4-4-4, I don't give a shit if you take the G5s out of it. Do that if you want to. I don't really care how they go about it. I don't think that's going to happen. But I would say that's cool. What I would tell you is think about that. Rather than the conference, you said this. I've been saying what, because you came on the show the day after the conference championship, was like, what the hell good did that do? We didn't move up. They didn't move down. What was the damn? You go out there and you win 28-7 over Bama, and you don't even move up to the number 2 spot after Ohio State gets bounced. You've got the same number of losses. You're definitely the hottest team in the country, without a doubt. And how do you don't even move up? So what good did it do for you guys to play? It helped. I guess it helped Georgia win a conference title, because you weren't going to win it otherwise. You would have lost it to the tiebreaker. But here's the thing. In that, it would have been better to, whatever, even if you give up the conference championship or whatever to what happened in the regular season. It is what it is. But then instead of having 1 versus 2 playing in that championship game, which is cool and all, and I think you need to have games. They're not going to give up games. But you could add another game. You could have 2 number 3 playing number 5 and number 4 playing number 6. Or no, 3 playing 6 and 4 playing 5. And that way, then you've got 2 teams that wouldn't be in playing in, or they're playing to get in. So the 3 and 4 seeds, they got to make sure that they can stay in it.
Right. I mean,
but at least that way, it's not a bunch of committee members that are talking bullshit up there about stuff that don't even matter. Saying that we had to get Notre Dame and Miami next to each other before we could compare them. What do you mean? They played each other this year.
They played on the field. We saw it.
It was just bullshit, though. But if you don't have to do that and you can play a play-in game instead, and then it's much more fun to watch, and you don't have assholes up there that are just giving their reasoning that don't mean shit. It's biased stuff. And shout out to, hey, Big Tight, what's up, man? How you doing?
So let me introduce my homie, Big Tight, man. What's up, Big Tight? He played high school ball with me, man. Good buddy of mine since high school, man. He was our high school tight end, man. He has his own show. And I'll give you a chance to shout your show out, obviously, Big Tight, before we slide out of here. Right now, we're talking about, if the playoff committee got it right and what kind of changes we could, in our opinion, make to the playoffs. So I would ask you the same question that I asked Jason. In your opinion, did the playoff committee get it right?
Well, you know what? When it comes to that situation, man, because everybody pretty much knew James Madison didn't have no chance against Oregon. We knew Tulane wasn't gonna have a chance against Ole Miss. We had already seen Ole Miss beat them early in the season already.
Yeah, so, about like 5 touchdowns.
Yep.
Right. I knew they was gonna beat them, even though Lane Kiffin had left. They still got all the talent on the field. I mean, the coach left, but they still got all the players. So I knew they were going to.
But they got all the corner, all the other coaches there. Lane Kiffin just not there.
Right. He the only one left. Right. So I knew it was going to end up being like that. But if you ask me, man, when it comes to the smaller power schools like that, man, maybe they should have a situation where maybe they play it out against each other. Like maybe they could have had James Madison and maybe Tulane. You don't think so?
No, they don't need to be in it.
Maybe they play each other and maybe get one spot on. I really, to be honest with you, I really don't think they should be in it, period. I really would have rather had Texas, maybe Texas get in there.
Notre Dame, BYU even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. Yeah, Vanderbilt would have been good. So I would have rather seen that, to be honest with you. I would have rather seen that. It would have been better games instead of it being a blowout.
Let me pose this to you, and I just posed this to my homie Jason right before you came on. Just like you have all the championship games are on a Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you should have the 11, 12, 13, and 14 seed, which is 2 games, play each other for a buy-in for the 11, 12 seed on Friday. And then you'll have the same seeding come out after the championship game. Like nothing changes. It just now you got the battle between those 4 teams to prove that they get that 11 and 12 seed. And now there's no argument. Everybody get what they want. Plus you get 2 more great games to see before the championship games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if it's all about money and viewership.
Yeah, I agree with that. That sounds good to me.
So
like a good idea to me.
So I'm gonna come to Jason, man, and what we're gonna do is just kind of breeze through these playoff games. I know we got a major one that we definitely want to talk about, which is my friend. He's still hurting from that, but we're gonna get to that. So just right now, we're gonna talk about the 5 and 12 seed, which was Oregon and James Madison. What were your kind of overall thoughts on that game, Jason?
I mean, James Madison played in the second half, and when Oregon had pretty much, put up their starters and getting ready for the next round. It's like I said, I told you a second ago. I mean, James Madison played a G5 schedule. They played 1 Power 4 school. It was Louisville. They got beat by multiple scores, and they're in. You had to know what was coming, it's just it's not even whether or not you can get a team, because we've seen Boise State play and do well in Utah back when they were in the G5 or whatever as well. But it's not even about that. It's about what do you have to do to get there.
Right.
So to me, it was a foregone conclusion, man. It was a foregone conclusion. That's all I can really say about it. It's just I didn't think much of it. It wasn't a game that really did much for me.
Same here, and I'm gonna come to you in a second, Big Tight. Same here, man. I'm almost just kind of at the point of like, are we getting better? Like, I got so much more to lose. Are we getting better? You know what I'm saying? Why are we doing this? Why are we playing this game?
We even added a 9th conference game in the SEC to appease a bunch of people, and you're letting G5s in for not playing nobody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a chance to watch that game? I'm sure you did, Big Tight. James Madison versus Oregon.
Yeah. It pretty much was what I thought it was going to be, man. I knew eventually Oregon was going to run away with it, man. Oregon, they're a very good running team. So you're not going to beat Oregon if you can't stop the run. You got to be able to stop the run if you're going to beat Oregon. A lot of people think Oregon is more of a passing team. They're more of a running team, if you ask me. So I think the next matchup, who they got Texas Tech, or who they got Texas Tech.
Yes, Oregon has Texas Tech. Yeah.
Texas Tech.
We're gonna find out
I
if
think
that's
Texas,
just playing Texas Tech schedule or if they're really that good on defense.
Yeah,
Because
I
they
think,
can throw it too. They can throw it too because Dante can throw.
yeah.
And
I,
I said before you guys got on the show, listen, speaking of being a running team, the first play of the game was a handoff by Oregon to the left side of the field. When I knew this shit was over with, did you see number 33? No disrespect to the young man. He's a D tackle and I get it. But did you see the unathleticism that this kid displayed trying to run down the running back? When I saw that, that let me know there was just such a big disparity in the speed of both teams, at least on offense and defense.
I got something to say about that when we get to the Alabama game, when we start talking about Bama in Indiana too, because don't let me forget that there's a James Madison grab for that too. But yeah, I'm with you, man. This was the first. He's like, bro, it's the biggest. That's the difference. That one would never play at the other place ever.
Right.
He would never. You couldn't walk on and play there.
right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even want to talk about the Ole Miss and Tulane game because we saw that shit in the regular season, and it is what it is, man. I don't. Let's skip this Miami and Texas A&M game. I kind of gave my thoughts on that earlier, but I'm gonna let you guys give your thoughts before I regurgitate what I said earlier. Jason, what are your general thoughts on the Miami and Texas A&M game?
I think that Miami's dangerous. I think that Miami's dangerous in the trenches. I think Ruben Bain is a damn problem for anybody. The defensive line that they have is ridiculous. Carson Beck concerns me. And Mario Cristobal concerns me, to be quite honest with you, in close games. He just does. But I'll tell you this. I think they're gonna give Ohio State all they can handle. And Ohio State doesn't get to play them at home. They're gonna have to deal with them at a neutral site. I think that they went and dealt with that crazy ass crowd in College Station and got it done.
Mm-hmm.
If they can find some rhythm, and the one thing that worries me about Miami, I guess a little bit, would be that they've got that freshman receiver and they don't really have much else. As far
they have a good running game if they can get it done.
They do have a good running game because they're great on the offensive line too, right? But but the receiver wise, they're not as good. But I'll tell you this, it was a low scoring, hit you in the mouth game. But I just think that I kind of had a feeling that A&M was going to not handle that because it's just A&M's way. But I think that we were talking early in the season, man, about how really good, until they lost that first game against Louisville, how really good Miami was. And then everybody kind of went away with it whenever they lost those couple of games. But, I mean, we've seen teams can lose. I mean, it happens. But I would tell you that I think that Miami's a lot better. They're a tougher out than what people are giving them credit for. I think Ohio State's going to have hell with them. I mean, for the right money, I'd probably go with Miami, just depending on I think it's like an 11.5-point spread. I think that's wild to me.
Well, I mean, shit, Carson Beck is coming off a 103-yard passing game. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't think they even wanted him to throw the ball. I don't think they turned him loose, right?
But shit, Jason scored 3-3. Go ahead, Big Mike. Go ahead.
Oh, no, not to cut you off. It was a defensive game, man. Most definitely playoff type game. It was a defensive game. Both of the defenses were playing good, man. With Miami, man, with that matchup, it came down for me with the line of scrimmage because Texas A&M, and I think it was Texas A&M and Oklahoma leading the nation in sacks, if I'm not mistaken. And Miami had one of the top offensive line before that game. They had only gave up, I think, 11.5 sacks on the whole season. So that was one of my key matchups: the front seven of Texas A&M against Miami offensive line. So I figured if they weren't really able to affect Carson Beck in the pocket like that, he probably would be able to get some passes out to Malachi Tony. I really like Malachi Tony, that freshman wide receiver, man. If he gets any step on you, he gone. You're not catching him. So I think that was a big play. They hit him. They got to run with him at the end of the game to get that touchdown, man. But that was a great game, man. Great game, man. I also like the other receiver they got, CJ Daniels. I like him too.
Yeah.
for the Miami Hurricane.
Malachi Tony's a bad dude, man.
He showed a lot of grit because, before he caught that touchdown the series or two before, he actually fumbled the ball to give Texas A&M a chance.
Yeah.
So he showed a lot of grit being able to, forget that and be able to come back, bounce back, and make a big play to help them win. The thing that scares me about Miami that, we haven't really touched on, man, they're a very undisciplined team. That's the thing that scares me about them. For some reason, they're going to always give you a 15-yard penalty at the right time when you need it. And that's what scares me about them and Cristobal as a head coach.
And that goes back to Cristobal, man. How do you not figure that shit out, man? And you've been there. This isn't year one. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what, Jason? I hate to say it, you know what I'm saying? But you got motherfuckers like Michael Irvin over there. You know what I'm saying? And all this
shit. You gotta get those dudes off the sideline too. I mean, I know you love on them because they're former players, but man, it's got to be about business at this point of the year. You know what I mean? Like, do that shit in the regular season.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. And to what we said, well, what I know about Carson Beck, if things are going well, they're going well. But if he throws an interception, it's going to continue to roll down here. Unlike Tony, he doesn't have a short memory. He doesn't know how to dig himself and his team out of those types of situations. And that's what really, really scares me. And I don't know.
Did he throw his team under the bus too whenever he had that last bad game like against SMU where he was saying that it wasn't really on him. It was they weren't doing this and that on the line. And it was like, whoa, that's not what you hear from quarterbacks very often. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think me and Susan are on the same page with Carson a little bit here.
Yep. Yeah. He will give you 2 interceptions. Miami won't want to throw the ball. They're a better team when they run it. You're not wrong. And I think they can run the ball. And that's the whole thing. I think that Ohio State's they'll oblige that. They'll let you play that game with them. And then, I mean, look at the Indiana game. I mean, for everybody talking about defensive masterclass, it was trash. That just was, I don't think much of this Big Ten at all, man. They protecting their teams from each other. They're big boys. I mean, Indiana hasn't played but one they played Ohio State last year in the regular season. That was their one game that they played against a good team in the Big Ten. And they played Oregon in the regular season this year.
Right.
Before going to the conference championship game. I just don't buy it, man. I think they're in trouble. I think they're in deep shit. I don't know, man. To me, I feel like this is good. But if Ohio State can lose and only put up 10 points on that team, I don't think that Ohio State is all that either. I know they're really young. I think Julian Saint's pretty good. I think that Smith is obviously unbelievable, right?
Not only him, they got 2 more.
Yeah, listen, I love their receiving core. There's no 2 ways around it. But how's that going to be now that their coach is leaving, you know? But I'll just say this. To me, you got to figure that this game could be tight. And how do they deal with that adversity? I think that either one of these teams, though, I think Miami gives Georgia a better game than Ohio State does. I think Ohio State get their ass whipped. They play Georgia.
I'm just trying not to jump the gun. I'm gonna wait because we're gonna talk about this next round.
Okay.
We get to this next round.
All right.
I know my homie. He's still reeling. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to pour salt in the wound, and we just trying to talk about it. Matter of fact, it might help you get past it. But I'm gonna come to Big Tight first. Big Tight, just give me your general opinion, your thoughts on the Alabama-Oklahoma game. Because he's truly neutral.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it was, I actually picked Alabama to win that game, man. Because when they played the first time, you know, Alabama had, 3 turnovers, and one of them was a pick 6. And Oklahoma still only beat them by, 2 points?
3, I think, right?
Was it 2 or 3 points? Yeah.
It was 2. It was 24-22 or 23-21 is what it was. 23-21.
Yeah, so what I was looking at was, you know, you already got the coach under pressure. And also, with you know, nobody really beat Alabama 2 times in the same season. And I figured Alabama would not turn the ball over 3 times again against Oklahoma. Even though Oklahoma got a very good defense, I didn't think that Alabama would turn the ball over 3 times, and I figured that it would be a close game. And Alabama would find a way to win that game. So that's why I picked Alabama in that game. I will tell you this though, man. With Alabama, man, I most definitely feel like they need to get Ryan Williams more involved in the passing game, man.
They got to take him out of the slot. Don't you think they got to take his ass out of the slot?
I
don't think he's the kind of receiver to take hits over the middle and shit like you got to take.
Right. Because it seemed like they should get him more involved, man. They more throw the ball to the other receiver, Jameis Bernard, than they do Ryan Williams. Because it was like in that game, I think it was probably like the second half or some shit like that before he even caught a pass, something like that.
He hasn't been involved much in the whole second half of the year.
Yeah.
Right. So, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say now to your point. Now, I think he needs to stay in the slot. It's just about the way that they're getting him the ball. That's the issue. That's the problem. You got to find.
He can fly by cats on the outside though, dog. He ain't doing that shit on the inside.
But the thing about it, once you out there, people get a chance to put their hands on you. You know what I'm saying? They get a chance to jam you. It's a little bit different. In the slot, he can stay off the ball a lot more. He got a lot more field to work with, a lot more space to work with. It's just the way that they're getting or trying to get him the ball. I think they need to, design some ways to get him the ball, not necessarily so far down the field.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Find some more creative ways to just put the ball in the hands. I don't want to say,
but I think that's where he's had a lot of drops this year, though. Too is that those contested balls or anything where he thinks he's about to get hit, he drops that shit.
But that's what I'm saying. We ain't got to run him downfield. A little way we do with Zachariah Brent, 73 catches. Every ball he catch down there ain't no deeper than 5 yards. Let's just get him the ball because he's a playmaker. At this particular time, his game. His concentration is not where it needs to be, where it was last year. He's
still young, bro. He's still a young cat too, man.
I agree. So just as a coordinator, let's be a little bit more creative. Let's hand it off to him. Let's screen this, screen that. I don't care. Stops and hitches. Nothing further than 10 yards. That gives you a chance to catch the ball convincingly and make somebody miss. As opposed to me trying to send you all over the middle, 15 yards down the field, all that kind of stuff. Let's just get the ball in his hand early. Then maybe later on in the game, try to explore defense deeper down the field. So, Jason, what's your thoughts overall? Which, I'm going to let you get on your soapbox because I understand you. This is therapy. That's where just my damn opinion about.
Therapy.
That's where just my damn opinion about. Is say what you want to say, do what you want to do on my channel. So what's your overall thoughts on the Alabama OU game?
Yeah, my overarching thought is kind of the same as it's been for a while, and it's get rid of this fucking quarterback and if need be the play caller. I'm not happy about the way that they played. You can't go up 17 and not get it done. And I think part of that goes back on Brent Venables too, because they gave up more points than they needed to give up in this game. He took a while to adjust. He was in that single high safety. If you were watching, he was in that single high safety look for an awful long time, Shawty. And when you've got the weapons that they have at Alabama in the receiving corps, because Jeremy Bernard is a bad dude, and that tight end of theirs, he's a stud too, bro. And on top of that, you've got Horton, and then you've also got what's his name, Lottie Brooks. Lottie Brooks had his first 2 touchdowns of the year. He's been doing very well.
He a freshman, ain't he?
Yeah, and he's a stud. But he'd had some big plays. I think he averaged like 20 yards a catch, but he just hadn't caught any touchdowns, and he does 2 against OU. But I think a lot of it, the first one, that single high safety look, when they hit him on that one, and it was a dart that tied through, shout out to him, just tied through a monster ball right there. He was under pressure, and he threw up to where only Lottie Brooks was going to get it. And he made the play. And so, yeah, first off, you got to take your hat off to Alabama. I kind of thought that they've become a little softer than what you want to see under this offensive regime that doesn't run the ball. And I still think they need to find a running game. You're not going to win the Natty without a running game. And it's, I just don't see it. But That being said, I think that Brent waited. He didn't adjust. I think he got a little shell shocked at a point, kind of like the rest of the team. But when you go up 17-0, and then it almost went to 24, and you had, and listen, for, you know, I've been talking shit about John Mateer all year, but he hit that on that scramble play. He hit that damn running back in his damn hands, and he didn't catch the ball. And that, you're probably going up 24-0 right there. You teeter him over, and it's over. You know, the 17 mark is one thing. And you know, we felt, I mean, shit, I can tell you I'm sitting in the stands feeling real good right then. But I'll say this, when you start looking at they went down and scored right away after they didn't get that. Now, John Mateer also could have ran for a first down on that one easily. It was a 3 yards to pick it up. Then as soon as they punted that, or no, and that's right after that, you had that punter have that ridiculous, the special teams has been so good all year, and they were trash. It felt like when they fell apart, they all fell apart, and it happened simultaneously. And then the pick six, I mean, good Lord. I think that you've put so much on this defense for the entirety of this season, particularly in this run of the last month. You know, the last month of the season, you got 2 road games. You go on the road to win in Knoxville and in Tuscaloosa. And, you know, and I'll tell you that being in Tuscaloosa for that game, Oklahoma, they only trailed for about 4 minutes of that football game. I know that they gave up a lot of yards, but they forced them into those turnovers, by the way. It's not like they just handed them to them. So I felt like that they won that game in spite of their offense not playing very well, because their defense damn sure played well enough to win. Now, I know they gave up a lot of yards, but they were also on the field a lot too. That being said, I think that the one thing that I come out of this thing with, and I mean, I've been thinking about it all weekend, and it sucks, man. I mean, you look at that, when you go up 17, you figure you're moving on. And to get beat like that, it's trash. But I'll tell you this, the one thing that I keep coming away with it on is, and I know you were like, there ain't no way, but I'm telling you, they are really talking to his management, they're talking about him going to the league, because whatever it is that they like about him, and right now there's not that many good quarterbacks in pro football right now. They're looking at him as a project.
But all you can do is add to it if you draft him.
I'm not telling you that I disagree with you, dog. I think he's terrible. You know this. I'm telling you that there's people in the league that believe that his intangibles, his leadership, whatever they think that they love about him, is going to be helpful, and they can fix him. You stick him with a guy like Sean McVay or something, whatever. I don't know that you can, but I'm just telling you that's where they're at. I don't care. I don't care what happens to him. They can fire him into the damn sun for all I care. But get him out. I don't want him there anymore. I think that Michael Hawkins, it was his turn a long time ago, and he didn't get it. And unless this dude leaves, he's probably not going to stay. And I don't want to go through another year of this shit. I don't want to go through another year of it. The other thing is, I think they got to get away from the RPO. I want to see them running more of what, like, we see Georgia doing.
Hold on now. Because y'all used to give me hell when I used to talk about running a pro style offense.
Not y'all.
I had Big Dent. Big Dent cussed me out on your show. Oh, that shit old. Like, if you running pro style offense and, you know, that shit's out. Everybody say when I say something about pro style or where we run it, outdated. I remember these conversations.
I didn't say shit about that. I
remember Big Dent cussing me out. Oh, y'all running because I was talking about the route tree.
Yeah, his son got in the portal today too.
Oh, I saw that, the tackle, the lineman.
Yeah.
But not to cut y'all, but I'm just saying, you know, listen. I one thing about me, man, I talk a lot of ish, but I don't play and watch a lot of football, man. I know football if I don't know nothing else. But all these things I used to be saying about running pro style offense, these motherfuckers running these RPOs and looking at these signs at the sideline and don't know fundamental football. That would go all the way back to that 7-on-7 stuff I was trying to tell y'all.
Right.
Tell y'all about. Right. That's why a lot of these players get misevaluated, because they get evaluated in shorts.
Right.
And not realistic football.
I'll be saying the same thing. Oh, my bad, man. I've been saying the same thing for years, man. That I feel like on a bigger subject that these colleges don't prepare these quarterbacks and some of the wide receivers for the NFL, man. You in college and you look to the sideline for the plays. Now you got to come into the NFL. You got to call plays, get them out of the huddle. You probably ain't been up under the center. High school, you probably ain't been up under the center. College, you ain't been up under the center. Now all of a sudden you got to get up on the center. They want you to drop back, read the defense.
But your footwork and you ain't got no footwork.
Yeah, you ain't got no footwork because you just been standing there in shotgun. You standing there in shotgun,
you're right,
and most of the time,
and I mean,
yeah,
they get happy feet. They get happy feet all the time. I mean, look, that's John Mateer's biggest problem. The dude doesn't stand still, and he's scared. He's running out of clean pockets into trouble. You know, it's just dumb shit. But they don't have a real running game with the RPO. Is what I was trying to say, Shawty. They literally ran John Mateer 19 times. They had 33 attempts, and 19 of them were his. The two running backs got 14 between them. What the fuck are we doing?
And you know what, Jason, was even a bigger problem with that I find out to be about that is you can't even run the ball when you got an extra blocker. You got 10 blockers and you running the quarterback and you still only getting 3-4 yards. So
it's because his ass is broken, man. He's been getting hit all fucking year. That's the other thing. If you're gonna do that, Hawkins is the guy for that. He runs a 4-3.
But even when you hand it off to the running back, there are no open holes. So what I'm saying, there's a lack of physicality up front
because of the RPO. Because they're not firing off the ball. Those offensive linemen in the RPO. They got to drop back first. That's got to be their first move. What did Alabama do in that game? Early on, they were in the zone. They weren't attacking the quarterback. As soon as they started attacking that front, John Mateer lost his fucking shit.
So it's a philosophy problem. That's where we at. It's philosophy.
Absolutely.
And that goes to, where I was going next. I want to ask, Big Tight if he had an opinion about John Mateer. I don't know if you do or don't. You have an opinion about John Mateer before I say something?
What year is he? What is he, a junior, senior?
He was a junior, but it was his second year. It's his third year in that system with that coach. So, I mean, that offense, and they had weapons. I mean, K. Chris keeps talking about they need to get more weapons.
Their offense been up and down, been inconsistent this year. They got a hell of a defense.
He had 14 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, bro.
Right. Been inconsistent, man. The reason why I was asking what year he is, because if he got another year, I'm gonna definitely feel like he need to come back another year. I know you probably don't want to,
bro. He can go elsewhere. Hey, let me ask you this: if you got a quarterback that's been in the same coach's system for 3 years, he has bad mechanics in year 3. What's going to get better in year 4? I mean, to me, and you know what? The people that are talking about the NFL stuff, he can go and get with a guru for the next 6 months and really work on that stuff a lot better than if he's going to class and doing all this other shit. And and coming back to Oklahoma and running what works for Oklahoma. I don't. To me, hoping that he gets better at all this shit is not a plan.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at on it. So I'll pass off of that. But I mean, that's me, and you know where I'm at. That's my soapbox. I don't like the cat. I don't think he's very good. I think that they hijacked this football team for the betterment of him instead of the betterment of the team. And that bothers me because they had a championship defense.
Yeah, they do.
So before we get to the second round of the playoff, I'm gonna give my general thoughts on that game. We we're not here to bash, Oklahoma or anything like that. But I do want to give my overall general thoughts of the game. Players play and coaches coach. My biggest gripe with that game was the coaching staff. I saw a lack. I saw a head coach he's a great defensive coordinator. He's turning out to be a great head coach, but there are some decisions that he's showing that he's still learning on the job. Rightfully so. He's just in his 4th year, but you got to be better at making adjustments on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. And what I mean by Brett Venable from an offensive standpoint, I think he does a great job defensively. But man, if you don't see if you don't like what you're seeing and you are on the sideline, you got to pull your OC, your quarterback coach, to the side. Hey man, look here. We need to do this. We need to do that. Like you got to tell the staff to make some kind of adjustment. You just can't at that point trust in what you're seeing and what's going on because it's not working. And you're a hell of a defensive coordinator. So if nothing else, I need you to be running shit on offense throughout the week that's causing my defense problems. And put some of that product on the field yourself. So from a coaching standpoint, that's my main issue that I had in that game was the lack of adjustments on both sides of the ball. And when you get to this kind of conference, we ain't got time to be learning on the job.
That's where I said that when I got that argument with Dent that day about Arbuckle. And I said, bro, Oklahoma is not the place for you to become a good coordinator. You come to Oklahoma as a good and accomplished coordinator. That's, it's just not. Right. I mean, we're talking about QBU. This is quarterback university right here. And it's not okay for you to come in and not be fully prepared. You need to have already passed your exams, bro. Sorry.
And Jason, all this is, at the end of the day, no matter what nobody wants to say, all this inconsistency is happening under BV's watch. So him as an evaluator, even at hiring coaches, got to get better. I'll just leave it at that. Because it all falls on the head man at the end of the day. He's hiring these guys, So yeah, that was the first round, man. So we'll go to the second round matchup. We won't harp on it too long, man. I think there's gonna be some great matchups in the second round. And we'll start with the Oregon, the 4 seed versus the 5 seed. Oregon versus Texas Tech. Big Tight, give me your thoughts on that matchup and who you think maybe has the upper hand, whether it be coaching, offense, or defense. Just give me your general thoughts on that game.
Well, like I was saying earlier about Oregon, you got to be able to stop the run if you're going to try to beat Oregon. Mm-hmm. And I think with those linebackers with Texas Tech, I think they probably got the best core of linebackers, if you ask me, out there. So I think Texas Tech got a great shot of beating Oregon, man, because I think that front 7 they got most definitely will be able to stop that run with Oregon. Texas Tech defense, I know some people probably feel like they haven't played teams like that. Texas Tech, that defense is legit, man. I seen them play. That middle linebacker they got, I think him and the linebacker for Ohio State, I think they're probably about the best 2 linebackers. And also your boy from Georgia. I think him and old boy from Ohio State probably about the best 2 linebackers out there. But
that was the only kickback I had on what you just said. Now I think they arguably have the best linebacker.
Yeah.
But as a core, I don't agree with it. As a core,
you don't think they got the best core? Who you like? Ohio State?
I can name a couple of teams in the SEC. I think core is better.
Yeah. Okay.
Georgia, Oklahoma.
Okay.
I'm talking about as a core.
Georgia, Oklahoma, even Bama.
Yeah,
I think Bama's defense is legit.
Yeah, they legit. Yeah, Bama legit. But I think Texas Tech match up with them. I think they match up with them good, man.
Even on the perimeter.
Texas in that game.
Even on the perimeter, you think they match up with Oregon's perimeter offense? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm taking Texas Tech, man. I'm taking Texas.
What's the spread on that game, Jason? Okay.
I don't know. Let me check it. I'll have to check it real quick, but I definitely ain't picking Texas Taco Tech, bro.
You don't like it?
What's your general thoughts on the matchup, Jason?
I mean, listen, I get it that they've bought themselves a nice little roster and they won their first Big 12 championship, all these years later. I don't think that Barron Morton's all that good. I think that they're going to have to be able to run the ball. And one thing about Oregon is that their defensive line is pretty good. Mm-hmm. You got Mateo Uiagalelei and some of those they're pretty solid there. So I think that it's going to be tough for them offensively. I like their linebacker core there at Texas Tech. I don't know, and their D line so far it looks okay, but again, they're playing the Big 12 schedule, and it's not. Look, aside from BYU, there really wasn't anybody that good in that. I mean, you know, there were some teams that were half-assed, but I don't look at that. I don't look at, man, the Big 12 wasn't that strong anymore when Oklahoma and Texas were still in it. Right. It didn't get stronger when they left. You know what I mean? So to me, I think that they're running into something. And look, they've been off for a minute too. So you've got an Oregon team that got a little warm up. I think is the perfect situation for them. Dante Moore is much better, and they're able to run the football too. You said yourself they're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they're going to run the ball as well as they did, obviously, against James Madison or against some of these other programs. But they were able to run the ball against teams like Iowa and stuff like that in the Big Ten, and that's hard to do. You know, they got good defense over there, and they know what you're bringing. But to me, Dante is really good. I think that he'll be able to hit enough passes as they'll be able to hit enough passes to get by there. I just don't. Look, man, but for me to believe in Texas Tech, I'm going to have to see them do all this. I got to see them beat somebody that's worth a shit before I believe in them, because I used to cover Texas Tech. That was whenever I was a sports writer early in my career. I was a beat writer for Tech, and that was during the Leach years. That was during their, you know, their heyday during that time, and they weren't. I mean, when they came up, they beat Texas that one year and turned around and got the shit kicked out of them by Oklahoma. I mean, it's just how it goes. It's just, I don't really see them as a big threat. I think they're out here. That's me.
I'm with Jason. I like Oregon in this game. I like them plus the 1.5 shot. The Trojan fight being our stat guy tonight. Appreciate that. But I'm gonna give y'all a little caveat. And what I really make this game a difference, and no one has probably thought about this. If they playing on turf, Oregon gonna beat the shit out of them. Now, if it's on grass, I think Texas Tech got a lot better chance to keep it close.
Is it the Cotton Bowl, or is that the other game?
I don't know. Let
me go look at that now too, because now I'm thinking about it.
I don't know where where it's at. But if they on turf, man, if they on turf, Oregon gonna beat the shit out of them.
No, it's at the Orange Bowl. It's at the Orange Bowl.
Oregon do got speed. They do got speed.
It's at the Orange Bowl, so it won't be on turf. It'll be on regular grass.
So that's in Miami, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be on grass. So I think it'll be a much closer game. Granted, the weather should be hot, which still I think.
I was going to say it's still a pretty tight little field over there too, and nice and warm. And it's a fast turf.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game, but I'm with Jason. Me personally, I just think Oregon is too explosive on offense. I don't think Texas Tech,
and they've got depth that Texas Tech doesn't have either. That's the other thing.
Right, I agree.
I think Texas Tech defense legit, man. I think they legit.
I think they're good, but it's about playing 4 quarters of that same type of defense. I don't know.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is like, what are they going to do when they got to go? You know, the D-line guys can't play, and it's going to be hot in Florida. And what are they going to do in the fourth quarter of those D-line dudes are big boys, man. They're not as good depth-wise, I don't think. And their linebackers are really good. Don't get me wrong. I think their linebackers are really good. Martinez played his ass off this year, you know, and stuff. But like I said, dude, I know they've built up a solid team for now, and like they brought a bunch of dudes in to do what they're doing. But Oregon whooped their ass last year. So,
and to that point, man, to your point about the linebacker, I think he's a stud. But the thing that Oregon does very, very well, they make you run sideline to sideline and putting big people like that.
Run sideline to sideline.
Putting big people in space,
north and south on them, Yeah.
But they want to put those linebackers in space, and that's where I think Texas Tech is going to have a problem. Is in space trying to cover Oregon on the perimeter. That's why I asked you earlier about their perimeter defense.
Yeah.
So
good point. But they both definitely gonna stretch you out.
Yes, that's what Oregon does.
They will. And I mean, I remember when they had Chip Kelly and they were the wide splits and they'd run north and south on your ass, but they definitely get you spread. Yeah.
All right,
yeah, man. And they've got athletes, man. That's the thing. Them kids want to go to Oregon and play, have 50 different uniforms and all that shit, man. Sooner
By
or later,
Nike,
they're
baby.
gonna win something sooner or later, right?
Feel Nike, baby. That's where it's at.
That's
There's
right.
nothing else. They got plenty of outfits and uniforms and shoes and nothing else. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Hey.
kids care about that shit, man. Especially
Yeah.
you cutting them with fat ass check too.
Hey, Jason, I'm gonna tell you this now. They are in Oregon now. It goes down up in Oregon, if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like it's free or it's legal over there. You know what I mean?
Yes, it do.
It's a different kind of lifestyle over there, baby.
Yeah, the cops don't do shit.
You know what I'm saying? Different lifestyle over there, man.
Yes,
so that
sir.
was the 4 or 5 matchup, man. We're gonna go to this next matchup. The 2
Hey,
and
you
the
know
6
what? I have
matchup.
the brackets there. You can pop it up and pop it back down there. You see it there at the bottom?
Yeah. So we'll go to the next matchup. We just did the 4 or 5. We're going to go to the next matchup. The 1 versus 9, Alabama versus Indiana. Big tight. Give me your general thoughts on that matchup.
That's gonna be a good one right there, man. Really, I like Indiana, man. To be honest with you, I like Indiana. Matter of fact, I don't want to jump ahead, but I'm actually taking all 4 of the top 4 teams in these games. But I'm taking.
I just want to throw this out there because I know what you just said. Now, all 4 teams last year they got to buy loss. I just want to throw that out.
Yeah, I remember. I'm taking Indiana over Alabama though. I'm taking Indiana. I believe that
Why is that?
Quarterback.
Okay.
I like that quarterback for Indiana, man. He good, man. I felt like when they played Ohio State, whichever team won that game, pretty much was gonna be the front runner to win the Heisman. Either him or Sam for Ohio State, man. But I think Indiana is for real. I'm taking them against Alabama, man. Alabama. I think the only thing with Alabama, man, is the fact that they not able to run the ball like how they used to, like how you were saying. You know, Alabama always could rely on that running game, just like Georgia. But I most definitely feel like Indiana gonna beat them, man. I'm going with Indiana.
So Jason, big tight. He likes Indiana along with that, Big 12 schedule that on play. I think me and you might be on this same page here, but I ain't gonna jump the gun. What's your thoughts on the matchup?
Yeah, Indiana's toast, man. They've got. We were talking about James Madison. Indiana is James Madison North. That is who they brought. Signetti brought most of that damn team that he had from 2 years ago with him. They haven't played anybody in that damn league. They certainly haven't dealt with what it's like to play in the damn Rose Bowl and against a team that say what you want about it. I mean, listen, I'll tell you that I think that there's definitely flaws at Alabama, and they're definitely going to have to run the ball at some point to win. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's this week. I think that I didn't really buy into Mendoza either. I just think the guys, man, I like their offense. I'll say this, and I think that they're very well coached, but they don't have the talent roster to stay on the field with these guys because they're going to play good defense too. And look, got a bunch of white boys playing secondary, bro. It ain't happening. I'm just not with it. I just don't believe it. Just gonna say, man, you got a bunch of me's running out there playing. Their best receiver's a white guy. I ain't buying it, man.
The way I look at it, man, they was able to stick with Ohio State. They probably got about the top receivers out there. They was able to stick with them.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing I say about that. Ohio State blows the game every year that they shouldn't, and because they get out coached. I think that Ryan Day is a decent coach. I don't think he's great,
right?
I think that he falls in love with a game plan whenever he shouldn't at times. Like, think about last year against Michigan. There ain't no damn way they should have. Michigan didn't have a fucking quarterback, and he decides he's going to get into a running game contest with them. That was the stupidest thing in the world when you got Jeremiah Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid. They beat Oregon on the road too. Yeah, I know they did. I think that Oregon overlooked them and they got beat. I think that Signetti's a better coach than either one of these guys.
I agree. Well, I
think
think
he's
he
a better
does
coach
more. I
than,
think he
than
does
either
more with
Ryan Day
less.
or Dan Lanning. I think he's better than both of them. But I don't think that he has the talent roster to beat those guys on a normal basis. It's just not going to end. I would have told you the same thing. If Oklahoma wins that game the other night, I say Oklahoma's beating their ass too, because talent-wise, they're just not on the same level. I think you can get up for one game, but there's no way. Even if they get through Alabama, which I struggle to believe, even if they do that, they're not gonna. I don't think they get through Oregon a second time. In this situation, and they certainly ain't winning the Natty, dude. There ain't no way. There just ain't no way.
I would say this, man. Jason, again, I think we're on the same wavelength here. That Big Ten schedule, I'm not a fan of. I don't think have been truly battle tested. Granted, they did go undefeated through that conference, but I think a lot of that had to do with just being familiar with the teams in their conference. I just think Indiana, this is just the first time for everything. I think it's just the bus stops here. I think the stage is going to be too big. They have a Heisman Trophy candidate, a Heisman Trophy winner. But in any other year in the Heisman Trophy race, that kid would maybe not got invited, or definitely would not have won with the numbers that he put up. So I just think the stage is going to be too big for them. I think Alabama overall obviously has the overall better roster, and I think that's going to show up in the 4 quarters that they play. But what is game played at, Jason? Trojan Fight, what is game played at? But I do think Indiana, based off the way that Alabama has been playing, will make it a good
They're
game.
at the Rose Bowl.
At the Rose Bowl. Oh, that's in Cali. Okay.
But that's the granddaddy of them all, man. That's a different deal to play in that place, man. And they haven't played. This is the first time they played in a conference championship, but this is on another level. All eyes are going to be on you that day.
Yeah, I think everything moving forward is just going to be too big for them. I think they've already overplayed what they should have done. To your point, I think Cincinnati does more with less, better than any other coach thus far this year. And I just think they've peaked out. I just, unfortunately, the bus stops here. And that's just my overall thoughts and opinion on it. So I do like Alabama in this matchup, but I don't like it by much. I think I may like Alabama by 4 points.
Let me just read off their schedule from this season. They played Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, Illinois, which at the time was number 9, but they beat them 63-10.
They were trash. They were trash.
Everybody was talking about them, talking them up. They weren't good. They ended up. It wasn't. I think they were 7-5. So Iowa after that. Then they got Oregon, Michigan State, UCLA, Maryland, Penn State, and they almost lost to a really bad Penn State team. Wisconsin, Purdue, and then obviously the conference championship game. I mean, bro, they played one good team in the regular season and one in the conference championship. I'm just saying, I have a hard time. Look, I got to see more from you is all. If they, I mean, listen, I'll say I was wrong if I'm wrong, but I didn't watch that game between them and Ohio State and go, oh my God, defensive masterclass. I thought,
I feel like Indiana to me is Texas A&M. I feel the same way about Texas A&M. I ain't played nobody. Until you do, you got to prove to me. You got to show me. I don't care what your schedule is, what your record is.
And
you got to
to your point. To your point, Texas A&M, they have a history of not getting shit done. That's woven into their DNA. Indiana's a basketball school, kind of, at this point, a basketball school. You know what I mean? So to me, these are things that this is all new territory. It's foreign to these dudes. And they don't know, like, how are you going to react in a moment? And look, whether or not Saban is still at Alabama or not, that's still Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
They're built for this shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's what I'm saying. It's a first time thing for the whole Indiana roster. To your point, just Alabama used to them. All those kids used to playing the high profile games, and I just don't think the moment is going to be too big. And as a matter of fact, with them beating Oklahoma, Alabama might be on the road here. They could be. They could be don't got their confidence back, be on the road here. Who knows? But we'll find
look
out.
at what after they got beat up in that Florida State game, they whooped everybody's ass for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
One quick thing I want to say right quick. Hey, I appreciate you letting me come on the show and everything, but I got to get my butt up and go to work in the morning, man.
Oh, for sure, man. Go ahead,
Yeah,
man.
It's good to meet
I
you,
wanted
bro.
to make sure, because I told you I was going to come holler at you.
Yeah,
So
appreciate you dropping your knowledge, man. I wish you would have. Next time you come on, make sure you stream to your channel, man, so your fans will get a chance to see you on this. And you need to connect with Hall of Fame too, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's good to meet you, brother.
Hey, good to meet you too, man. I most definitely have to get with y'all again, man.
All right, Big Ty.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Anytime.
All right, appreciate you, man. Y'all be safe, man.
All right.
Yeah, y'all need to link up. Big Ty got over 6,000 followers too, so man, it'd be good. He got a nice little channel. He does a lot of football and live streams and stuff like that.
He's sports guy on his channel.
Yeah. He does a lot of live sport. He does a lot of his sports talk be live, like while the game going. He commentates the game live.
Yeah. Okay. So I did one of those, man. I got like 12,000 views during that thing.
I started to do the Oklahoma
game. I almost didn't go to the game for the Oklahoma game just so I could do a live stream on it.
Bro, I started to do the same thing, and it just got away from me, man. But I said I was gonna start doing it, and it just, it'd be getting away from me.
Maybe we can do it next year on some games, man. We'll get together on some of that stuff.
For sure, man. Let's wrap this thing over these last 2 games. But like me, fortunate, I ain't gotta go to work tomorrow. So
no, man, I don't either. I'm straight. I'm straight on it. I ain't got no time limit, man. I'm good as long as you are.
So let's wrap up these next 2 games, man. Let's do this Ole Miss and Georgia game. It's another rematch from the regular season. What I would say is I'll let you wrap it up. But I'll start off since it's Georgia. I do like what I would say about this is, a lot of people say, and I'm one of those ones that say, hey, it's tough to beat a team twice in the same year. I'm a firm believer of that.
True.
But Kirby Smart is 4-0 when he played the same team twice in a year. So I'm gonna say that doesn't what's the word I'm looking for? That doesn't
affect him.
No, it doesn't affect Kirby Smart. You know what I'm saying? In this particular situation.
Yeah, I think he took his L from Ole Miss last year, right? So it's like I think they beat up on him, and Lane Kiffin ain't calling plays. So,
and I think we're much better than we were when we last played them. I just think we are hitting all strides right now. Granted, we had some time off. Both they had a little bit more time to prepare.
They had their chances to win that game, right? They had their chances, and they didn't come through. I have a hard time. It seemed like it was right around then that you guys started getting after quarterbacks' asses. And I mean, Chambliss is slippery though.
Yeah. He did get hurt, and I don't know how severe the injury is. And Landry, is it Landry, the running back? He also got hurt as well, shoulder. So I don't know how severe those injuries are going to be. I don't know how healthy they're going to be. I hope they both banged up when they come into the game. It ain't my fault.
Fair enough. Hey man, it's a game of attrition, right? So at this point, you got to try to get through it the most healthy as you can. You guys got some attrition too, man. You guys got some too. So
yeah, we all do. Everybody this time of year. But I say this right here now. A lot of people are slipping on their back. The backup is good too now. Now he could be rushed and not playing all year, but he pretty solid now.
Oh no, listen, if they're gonna go to the portal, I'd love it if they went after Austin Simmons. I'd love it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna hit the portal. They can't keep both of them again, right?
Well, no, but Chambliss is trying to get another year because he's a senior, if not. But he's going to LSU for sure.
If he can get that waiver for the next year.
If he can get that. And I think he did get the waiver already, as a matter of fact. I think he already did. Somebody said that today.
Okay. But at the end of the day, I don't think there's going to be much drop-off at quarterback if they have to go to the backup. But again, man, I just think we're a much better team. We've improved. We've got a lot healthier on defense, which makes us play a lot faster and able to put a lot more pressure on the quarterback, even though our defense is outdated. But yeah, man, I just think we overall win this game again. So that's my quick take on it. I'll let you give your thoughts on it.
I can give you my overarching feeling right now is that Georgia's the best team in the country. I think that they are definitely playing the best right now, but they're getting after the quarterback. The defensive line went to another level at some point this year, and it just goes to show you how well they do of what a great job they do with development on that
Mhm.
on the defensive side of the ball, especially. But even and the other thing I think about, listen, Gunnar Stockton is, the dude's pretty cold, man. He
It's just not flashy.
he isn't, but you know what? It's efficient. He gets it done. He's tough. The dude's got toughness, and I mean, look, what Mike Bobo does there, and I know a lot of people give Bobo shit. I know they do, but the guy has done a great job. He knows what it is that Kirby wants him to do. They're going to do that. They're going to do it well. They run the football and make it easy on their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't have to rely on a guy to run around and make all the plays and stuff like that, with Carson Beck, he kind of freelanced a little bit, it seemed like, you know what I mean? And he's trying to make plays with his arms and shit. And I don't think that wasn't the identity that Georgia needed.
There you go. We went from a guy who was driving a Lamborghini to a guy who drives an 84 Ford 150. That's our identity. You know what I'm saying? Not flashy, and that's what we got away from. We got a little bit too finesse. We got a little bit soft. We couldn't run the ball. And that changed this year. We got back to more of our identity of trying to run the ball and being definitely more physical up front. And I think that fits us a lot better. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I would say this, man, we were behind 6 of 7 games in the regular season. Going back to shout out to my coaching staff and making adjustments. To be behind 6 or 7 games and win them all, that lets you know you're making hell of adjustments. Game
and
time.
And those are the kind of things that when you got down like 17 in a couple of games and came back and won it. Like that Tennessee game to me, I mean, I learned that's when I was like, shit, Gunnar, good baller. That dude go out there and he ain't scared of shit. He made the throws. He made the throws he needed to make. He made runs that he needed to make. That guy just went out there and played. I mean, to me, I enjoyed that game. That Tennessee game was legit and Tennessee probably should have won it. But here's the thing. When you go through those things and you have that many games that you trail in that you come back and win, now you believe that. Huh?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, you just ain't got your camera on. Okay, I got you.
Oh, Bishop.
I mean, you ain't have to turn on if you want to. I just think I couldn't see. It's on you. It's up to you, Bishop. Whatever you want to do.
Y'all go ahead. Go.
I was just saying that, like, with me, when you go through that and a lot of comebacks like that, there's no lead that's safe with them. Shit, that confidence levels go through the roof for your football team too, and not just for your coaching staff, but yeah, they make adjustments and they don't. And I heard one of the guys that played at Georgia more recently, I guess, and talking about how when they had played and lost to Bama, I think in one of the national championships where you guys were ahead going into the half, and I think it may have been the Tua game. Whenever they came out.
Yeah, they beat us in the last minutes of the game.
But he was talking about how, here we are, we're pumped up and looking at that scoreboard, and Kirby was like,
thinking it's over.
They don't even know they're not even paying attention to the scoreboard right now. They don't give a shit because they know they could come back on you. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I was like, man, I enjoyed that conversation that they were, and it was a short clip or whatever, but I was like, it kind of tells you what this Georgia football team has become at this point. I've been one of the people that kind of thought they might be about ready to fall off at some point. I don't see that right now. I see this is a team that, remember whenever I was in Athens, when I was coming through town that day, and I went over to the Georgia practice and I couldn't see it, but I was standing outside of there, and Kirby was on their ass through that damn. He had that megaphone on.
And he calls you out. He calls you out.
It was every play, everything they did. He never shut up. He was talking and on their neck the entire time. And I mean, calling out the best players, the worst players, the new guys, the old guys. He's calling them out.
It's a different kind of intensity, man.
It is. It is. It was. I was like, well, they may not be very good right now, but they're going to be pretty good at the end of the year. Bishop.
So we're talking about the 3-6 matchup. Give me your overall thoughts on this particular matchup. What you think about this matchup?
Man, this 3-6 matchup, I think that there's about to be some justification going on with this 3-6 matchup.
What you mean by that?
I think Georgia is about to insert their dominance.
Okay.
Because see, the one thing people doesn't pay attention to is that you guys can win in the air and then through the ground. And when you start playing in a phone booth, there's not many teams that can play in a phone booth. You're one of the sole ones that can and realize what it means to play in a phone booth, meaning that when it comes down to it, if I got to run the whole full quarter, I have seen Georgia run it 18 times and be okay with it.
Mm-hmm. Control the clock, baby.
Control the clock.
I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying. This is what we were talking about this morning, right, Bishop? That like Gunnar Stockton, he don't have to go out there and be spectacular Mr. Heisman every week because they give him an easy game plan and he gets it done because they are going to run the ball.
And the thing I want to say about Gunnar is, you mentioned earlier about the Tennessee game. What that game showed me was we can beat you any way you want to do it. That game, we gave up 30 plus points. So we had to air it out. And Gunnar showed you if we have to, we can air it out as well. But we prefer to, run it 40 times and throw it 22 times. But we can do it either way. You know what I'm saying?
He was 20-26 in the SEC championship game, man. He had what was it, 200 yards, but 3 touchdowns. Not even 200 yards, but he had 3 touchdowns. And it was a easy performance, right?
And again, Jason, that goes back to what I was saying earlier about coaching and game planning. Like, because you throw the ball don't mean you got to always throw it 15, 20, 30 yards down the field. We throwing the ball 5 yards, sometime behind the line of scrimmage. Like, we do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We throwing high percentage passes because it makes no sense to be throwing the ball all the way down the field if you don't have to.
Well, if I can step in, the key is you trust your game plan and you don't let nobody change you. And that's a dangerous team when they know who exactly they are and they will do it to a T and tell you, hey, I'm about to run up the A gap. Stop me if you can.
Stop it. Yeah. That's imposing your will and grinding. And by the end of a game, when you've committed to the run game, that's when you lean on them. That's when you be leaning on fools, man. And like I said, if you don't have the depth on the D line, you don't have a ton of depth on the D line, you better not be playing Georgia.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this because I don't know if you guys, I watch it maybe possibly a little bit closer to you, but every game, guys, we playing about 8 linemen. We rotate the whole right side.
Absolutely.
We move the tackle to the guard to the tackle. It's just about situational football with us. We giving a lot of guys a lot of reps. And what I be trying to get people to understand is that's why it's so important to be able to play into late December and January.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of guys, a lot of reps, and everybody is cross-trained and everybody is ready to play when the time is right.
Well, look at Drew Bobo goes out and they didn't really miss a beat.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, just think about it. The way you do it is the true competitive depth, because whenever somebody goes down, the level never drops.
Right. Because these guys are getting snaps, live snaps, not just practice.
And oftentimes a lot of people miss the fact that, see, a lot of teams are getting beat because they can only go 1 to 2 dimensional, if that. And actually it's probably 6 players, if we're being honest, versus being able to rotate 8 and actually play each position. If somebody goes down, nobody pays attention to it because the beat keeps going in spite of what went down. And a lot of times the team that can get in these playoffs and stay complimentary and have that team go all the way through is the ones that's going to end up with the national title, because by now everybody got enough film on each other that the eye in the sky is undefeated.
Yeah, and all these freshmen that were playing early in the year are no longer freshmen. They sophomores. All the sophomores are juniors at this point. That's what I'm getting at. That's why it's so important to play in these, late December and January games, because that's a lot of snaps that these guys are getting. Ones and twos are getting, that you don't normally see.
Yeah, reps. And that's what you saw that on the Oklahoma defense this year a lot, that they were playing lots of dudes, lots of time. They were going as deep as 30 on their defense.
And see, the key
y'all just got to do it. I'm sorry, bitch. Go ahead. This is just my damn opinion, man. Hey, get in where you fit in.
All right, then. Well, what I was going to say is the key is that that's sort of new for us, Oklahoma, but Georgia and others have been established that way. And we just didn't pay attention because the key is by the end of the year, it actually benefited us because we got some players that really just needed the experience to make that fire test mistake and be able to correct it. So when they got on the field, to go to that next level, they were able to go there. Heineke and countless others that at first we didn't think that we can count on them. By the end of the year, they were part of the 22.
True freshman corner.
Yeah, true freshman corner. So, the key is with Georgia, they set the standard, but they had to go through their fire test when they were kept battling with Bama until they broke through. And that's the one a lot of people don't understand is that Kirby, he's a tactician and he'll keep at something. And once he gets the formula, he'll never stop critiquing it.
Well, and I think that Kirby kind of made a mistake in that first one, Bishop, right? I mean, going for that down there, they could have kicked the three, man. Go kick that three down there in that first game. You're at home.
But that's PTSD.
Everything benefits you, right?
I just gonna say
that's PTSD. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. When I broke down the film, and I even broke down Mississippi, and you guys, I'm telling you, they're not ready. Your offensive line is about to do some work. They're gonna have
the same team they played the first time.
Exactly. And not only that, here's the thing about it is that you don't show every possible win. And you don't want ugly. You don't want, through the air, through the ground, a mixture. The key is being able to, we could learn a lot from what you guys do, because when you make your mind up and you go after your plan of action, there's no deviating. There's no second guessing. Everybody's on the same sheet of music, and it flows.
Man, let me
go ahead.
Go ahead. I said, let me tell you guys something, man. That's why I'm, I'm letting this guy live rent free in my head because I be so upset with him. But y'all don't know but Jason know who I'm talking about. Man, this is a copycat league. Sure. Football is football. Ain't nobody out here running nothing secretive that don't nobody know about.
No.
Trust me, ain't nobody got no secret formula to nothing.
And if they do come up with it one week, the next week everybody got it.
Thank you. A lot of this is about execution and the Jimmys and Joes. And when the Jimmys and Joes are pretty much equal, now you're talking about execution and coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And what I always say, Jason, by the time the eye in the sky don't went through 12 games, there's nothing new. It's all goes back to the fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's how you win games, especially in the playoffs. There is no if and but.
The best teams will line up and tell you exactly. They know, hey, we can tell you exactly what we're going to do. Can you stop us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it kills me, when I hear these football gurus come on and just act like it's some kind of special sauce going on that they're doing over on their campus and all. Man, give me a break. But anyway,
it's about dudes. It's about ball. Hey, listen, you played at this level. You of all people know. I mean, you played with a Hall of Famer.
several.
That. Yeah, but I mean, we talking these cats, and not no shade towards Georgia. That wasn't y'all weren't even one of Georgia's best teams. You know what I mean? But y'all were nasty and got shit done. And that's the whole thing, is that like you see it on another level, and there's a different level to this. And I think that, like Oklahoma fans, we all got sick to death of hearing it's you coming into a new. This ain't the same thing as the Big 12, you know. And look, but that's because it's Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is used to going through. But truth be told, because of the way that Lincoln left the program, and because of the way that they had to rebuild it, and because of the fact that BV's still learning, and you know, you brought this up a minute ago, and me and Bishop talked about it this morning. Look, he's still got a step or two to take, and learn to do some things and manage this football team well. What I want to see him do is what we see out of Kirby Smart right now. Kirby Smart has his finger on the pulse of every part of that football team. There is not a single thing that he is not going to know what they're doing offensively. He was a defensive guy. That don't matter. He's going to make sure that you run. You think that Bobo get away with? I mean, they were roommates and shit in college, and there ain't no fucking way that Bobo would get away with not running the football.
Right. How he gonna tell him? Know what I'm saying? As a head coach, everything falls on you. If it's something ain't going right, you got to go to your coordinator. Hey, I know what game plan, or I don't know what. I know we had a game plan, but did what I need you to do.
And
Figure it out. Incorporate that into the game plan.
Yeah.
Right now.
And see, that's the difference between someone who's ready for their moment. When somebody's ready for their moment, they don't care what's going on. They're in charge, and they will implement when necessary to change the trajectory to make sure you meet the end result. So
I'm gonna tell you something.
Go ahead.
If I'm an offensive coordinator for a coach like Kirby Smart, ain't nowhere in the hell I'm on the sideline. I got to be in the booth, because I ain't finna let him chew me out in front of everybody on national TV. He gonna have to talk to me through the microphone when he see me at halftime. You know what I'm saying? Some of these coaches, they coaching, and it's like I see them make faces on the sideline, and you get a little angry, but it ain't like I don't really see them coaching. I see them get mad when a referee, make a bad call or something. But when you see a coach coaching, he is always chewing somebody out. And it ain't necessarily chewing out in terms of like embarrassment, but they having conversation with everybody all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. The one thing that I have taken away through the maturation of Kirby Smart is that each and every moment he has valued. And as he gone through the years, he has come up with a formula that he decided to be okay with being able to comfortable being on a phone booth fight. Whatever it takes. If got to go through the air or on the ground or a mixture, I'm taking you in the phone booth, and the first person flinch loses. And I'm betting on my team that I done got on them harder than anybody that can play against us can. So you better be okay with fighting in the phone booth.
I know Mike Bobo, and before we move to the leg game, I know Mike Bobo. And I'm gonna almost say this about any coordinator, but I'm speaking specifically about Mike Bobo. I know him personally, and I've seen him coach a lot of time.
Right.
He don't want to run the ball 40 times. Trust me. He want to put that motherfucker in the air. Trust me. He want to throw it 30, 40 times if he could, like he was doing with Carson Bed. That's what he want to do. As OC, you want to put up points. You want to air it out. You don't want to just hand the ball off 30, 40 times. Trust me. That's what the head coach saying and doing that.
But you know what? I think that he understands the importance of being on the ground, though.
For sure. For sure.
You know, I think he'd probably like to have another Heisman Trophy winner and or and 1,000-yard receiver, which I ain't had him forever. I'm sure he'd love to do that for y'all. But the thing is I think
we've only had one in our history. You know that, right?
I was going to say it doesn't happen often, does it?
We've only had one in our history.
Yeah.
Terrence Edwards.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, but the thing is, you know, they're doing it the right way to win games. I mean, look, and Kirby, he learned from the master at this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he learned from the master of this shit, and he knew what he had to put in place when he got there, and he knew it's got to be rigid. And this is why, look, Alabama, I like Kalen DeBoer. I think he's a really good coach. I do. They got to find a way to run the ball, and I just don't know that that's ever going to be number one on their list.
There's no excuse for a team like that to not be able to run the ball. It's just no excuse. That goes back to the philosophy and them taking the identity of their
Well, and
head.
it's hurting Ty Simpson too. I mean, Ty Simpson's the best quarterback in the SEC.
I agree.
But he hasn't looked like that the last month.
Mm-hmm. Well, them Alabama problem. I hope they don't get it fixed. To be honest.
Yeah, well, I'm not loving on him. I'm just saying, that's exactly it. But he's gonna do what you have to do to win. That's the point.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, man, let's go on and wrap up this lag game, this 10-2 matchup against the criminals. I shouldn't say that. The University of Miami Hurricanes versus Ohio State. Bishop, I'll let you take the lead. Give me your overall thoughts on this game and this matchup.
This matchup is youth and speed versus practicality of functional football. University of Miami is literally they're built off their youth and being able to make big plays and whatnot. But when it comes to the playoffs, it's a whole different ball game. And so I'm picking O State, but not by much.
Okay. Jay.
Not so fast, my friend.
Oh.
No, I think Ohio State may end up winning this game, but I think it's going to come down to a couple of things. I think that in the trenches right now, the best team is Miami. They got the best offensive line. I think they have the best defensive line out of this in this game. What it boils down to is turnovers, and can you talked about this earlier, Shawty. They do a lot of dumb shit. They get a lot of stupid penalties at the wrong time. And Mario Cristobal is still known to be Mario Cristobal, so you don't really know. In my opinion, I think that it would not surprise me in the least, because Miami have some youth, but they also have some veteran presence, and I don't think there's anybody left in the country in the tournament still that can control the line of scrimmage the way Ruben Bain can and be a game wrecker the way that Ruben Bain can. So I like Miami to be very close in this game. I think it's an 11.5 point or 10.5, 11 point favorites or something like that. I heard. I think they absolutely cover it, but I tell you what, if they can not turn the football over, and you know what, it may take another game like what you just saw from Carson Beck Saturday. I mean, 100 yards, throw a touchdown, don't throw any picks, and you're going to win. Run the ball.
I don't think 10 points is going to do it, brother.
13 did it. 13 did it for them. The Indiana game, Indiana isn't as good there, I promise you. And they won with 13.
I get it. Again,
I
said that.
That being said, I mean, I could be. If you get into a shootout with them, I think you lose the shootout because they have too many receivers, and you've got one really, really good one. So I think the best thing you can do is keep the damn ball out of their hands a lot. Play that keep away game, run the football, and let your defense do its thing. If you can do that, I think you have a chance to win. And I think that that's the best chance that Miami has. I also think that Miami can win that way. And again, I said this earlier about Indiana, and I'm gonna say it about Ohio State. I don't think either one of them are as good as everybody's making them out to be. They haven't been tested that way, and I think physically they're going to be tested in a way that they haven't been tested yet.
Mm.
So I don't know that I can fully pick Miami to win this thing, but I damn sure don't think there's no way in my mind that Ohio State runs away with anything here. They might squeak out one, but
And where this played at?
this one is.
Are they inside? Are they inside?
Let me go back and look here.
That's
Cotton Bowl?
Cotton Bowl, yeah, that's at Jerry World.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cotton Bowl.
Ooh, I like that for I like that in terms of Miami. I think that goes in terms.
I forgot about that.
But
Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith's gonna get Jeremiah Smith can run laps around him in there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm talking about the overall defensive speed that Miami has. I think it just benefits them more on turf.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're a little susceptible in the secondary though. They've got one really good corner that's a freshman too, but I think that again, I think you need to. This needs to be a, Bishop calls it that fight in the phone booth. That's what you need it to be if you're Miami.
I don't disagree with anything you said. A matter of fact, I'm gonna probably piggyback off a few of the points you made, and just to keep it short, the reason I like Ohio State, it really has nothing to do with the rosters. I think you both guys have kind of talked enough about that. To me, it's just gonna come down to the coach and the players in terms of discipline. Miami is one of the most undisciplined teams I have watched the entire season. And I can guarantee you, if this game is anywhere close, I guarantee you Miami is going to give you 2 15-yard penalties to let Ohio State get back in the game. One of those penalties is going to probably kill Miami's drive, and the other penalty is going to give Ohio State a first down to continue a drive to win it.
Yeah, you can't win like that either.
That's the issue I have with Miami. And it's crystal ball is just he has no control over the team. And I just think that's why they're gonna lose. And it's not gonna have anything to do with, between the numbers and the X's and O's.
Right, and it's not Jimmy's and Joe's. I mean, I think Ohio State probably has a better roster, but only by a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And like I say, anytime it comes down to being close, it's going to come down to execution and coaching. And I just think
I'll give you
Ohio
that.
State is built a little bit better for these type of games. This is the U finally getting back to the U. I can see Michael Irvin fucking around, running down the sideline to a referee or some shit like that and get a 15-yard penalty.
That's so and that we talked about that earlier, man. Why is them dudes down on the sideline, bro?
Hey, well, you know what I mean?
I get it. I get it, except I don't. I think that if you're gonna let them dudes down on the side, there has to be strict rules.
Yeah.
The Kirby, if you guys are down on that sideline, there ain't no way that he allows y'all to be up there around them kids.
Man, you might not even know if we got a celebrity on the sideline. Unless the camera just happened to pan by them, but they ain't really
They ain't over there raising no hell.
Exactly. For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, that's my rant, man. I appreciate Bishop popping in. Definitely
appreciate you
for helping me keep this thing in the middle of the road, driving this car late tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I had a great time, man.
It's therapy.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's therapy for me, man. I'm not very big on all the chats and the likes and subs, but if you want to put that out, definitely subscribe to Hall of Fame College Football. Like I said, he's one of the hardest working men in podcasts. Of course, if you want to subscribe or like to my channel, just my damn opinion, you can.
Yeah, I didn't stream this. I didn't see a place to stream it to mine, so I would have, just to help out.
I don't do that. Like I said, that's not what I do it for. It's therapy for me. I wanted to talk some college football. That's why I hit you up.
That's what's up.
Yeah, he's like me. He's like that. It's not therapy. It's just a way to communicate and have an old football coach get back into the flow. Break down film.
For me, I'd be needing it, bro, because one thing about me coming on a bunch of these, not coming on them, but being in the chat, it's very hard to get your opinion across because you can only type. Sometimes your message may go up, but sometimes they get taken wrong, So it just, what I'm saying? I have a lot of built up energy I be wanting to say, what I'm saying? So only way I can do it is sometimes come on my show. When we come on my show, I let everybody say and do what they want to say because, again, it's therapy, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I get down.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you letting us get some therapy out, man.
Appreciate, man.
It's kind of been what it's been today is therapeutic to kind of talk. And I mean, just to kind of talk about, man, it's been painful. It's one of them especially when you get it ripped out from under you, like it's 17-0, man, you feeling good,
Yeah.
And then you're not. It's just like, I hadn't really allowed myself to think about this could be the last game. It crossed my mind on Friday morning that, if they don't pull it together, that this will be the last one. But it's like, I just felt like they were going to find a way to win, and so it was tough, man. It's still tough, and it bothers me to this. We keep talking about it now. The portal's opening up, and you got shit going on with that, and it's just you're like, damn,
But what this helped. What this is supposed to help. Well, what I think it's supposed to help, guys. I really think it's supposed to help a word that I hear a lot of you all use. Well, not you all. We all use throughout the season. The standard.
Yeah.
Because we think we know what the standard is, and I try to tell people all the time, I don't be coming in to hate on your shows and things like that.
No, you don't.
I know what the standard is because we've done it very recently, back to back, and I know what it takes. So it's very easy for me, in my opinion, to see the writing on the wall early. Like I tell people, you don't put a speed bump in the neighborhood after the kid get hit.
No.
And that's what we were saying, which I actually saw, and I have to give Jason credit for the talk in terms of Oklahoma with the material thing.
Yeah.
We saw this in the season where he was not playing well. Granted, we addressed it even before the season because we were talking about the amount of picks and turnover he threw coming from the small school and how that would come. But people seem to just glance over that early. Like,
no, they were calling him fucking Baker Mayfield and shit.
Right. And I'm like, all material did was showed you who he's been.
And in all due respect, you guys are nailing it. And the thing about it is, going through what we went through last year, I think there's people just wanted success. If we just come back, tear it all away, they just wanted to win because after last year, it left a huge bad taste in our mouth. And with that, any success was good success in our mind until we got to the playoffs to where you couldn't keep skating by on just your defense.
Right.
You can't be one-dimensional. And what happened is, this is what's so crazy about it. We scored 17 quick points in the first quarter. And from that point on, we didn't have an answer back until the second half.
Well, you played at that point. You was playing not to lose, as a playing to win. You supposed to keep your foot on their throat. And what I was saying, I didn't get to say that, but that would kind of tick me off about BB without talking about adjustments, Jason. Him not making adjustments. You got a quarterback like Ty Sims. I think is arguably one of the top 2-3 quarterbacks in this conference. But he's damn near a statue. Why are you not sending pressure up the middle of the field? That's the fastest way to the quarterback is through.
Well, and I mean, Caden Proctor was getting away with choking out the damn edge guys, so you should have been putting your pressure through the middle. I'm damn right.
Yeah, that's the fastest way to get to him.
Yep.
You manufacture the pressure off the edge naturally with your great edge rushers. I saw 97 come in and make a big play one time. Caden Proctor. So what I'm saying is now you need to send pressure up the middle. Get this guy off of his platform. He barely moving.
Yeah, but Shorty, what's so crazy? In the first game, that's what happened. The first game against Bama, we were hitting Kip up the middle with that delayed blitz, and it was working. But now what we did is outsmarted ourselves in this second game. Because what BB, see, I broke down the film, but I'm letting everybody heal up a little bit. But what happened is we outthought BV. He outcoached himself because he didn't realize that formula hadn't changed. In fact, if nothing else, Georgia, they took it to a whole new level to where Bama couldn't. It is one of those things that they took it to a ultimate level and they couldn't score. And so when you find that out, a lot of times coaches, they try to do too much. And this is the first time I saw BV where he tried to do way too much, and change too much too quick, and not realizing, no, you can mix it up, but you don't need to change.
Yeah, go with got you there, man. Then you make adjustments. That's what I'm saying. Go with got you there. Then you make in-game adjustments. That's what you do.
And then on top of that, then you have the flukiness and the different things that happen. And then all of a sudden you feel like you're when I used to coach, we call it quicksand. It's like you're trying to make a good play, then very next play, but you end up making it even worse.
The more you struggle, the faster you sink.
Yep, absolutely. And so that's what we saw, and we needed to go through that because it's been a long while since we've been in a playoffs. But when we've been in the playoffs, we had all offense and no defense.
But that's my point, Bishop. Like, you guys now know coming off of this year what the standard truly is. So when you start seeing these red flags early in the season, y'all start talking about them and hope they get addressed. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to like, oh yeah, we're gonna, we'll take care of it, and we got this and we got that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I've been taking arrows. I've been taking arrows all damn season. He has. I've been saying, but I don't care, man. And I think it's fucked up what they did to Michael Hawkins. I think it's I think that it's a shame that if Mateer doesn't try to go to the league or they don't cut his pay to where he goes into the portal, I think that Hawk is gone and he's liable to go win a damn Heisman somewhere else.
So, matter of fact, we can get out, but I probably ask you this off session because I don't want to make it. And you can stay on off camera too, because I already asked y'all this because I don't want to turn this into no bashing session. So, with that being said, just hang around. Don't hang up, Bishop. Jason already. So, with that being said, man, appreciate everybody tapping in, everybody in the comments, man. Just my damn opinion. Hall of Fame, college football. Bishop always got something cooking. We'll see y'all on the next one, man.